What's happening? This is the Tap In podcast. We are live inside of the Tap In studio. Man, I got a special guest in the building today. We go back, I don't know how many years. Miss Courtney Camero is in the building. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
I know. Good to see you, too. Good to see you, too. How long it's been?
Man, what was that, 2012?
Yes.
2013?
Yeah, man. Yeah. First of all, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You good?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Way better.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I mean, like, your mental health, like, in general.
Yeah. I mean, of course, a lot of people have seen the situation, but since then, it's improved dramatically.
Okay. Okay.
In the words of Cardi B, drastically. Since yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get to all of the bullshit. We're gonna get to that later. But I want people to get to know who Courtney is. Mm-hmm. Where are you from, Courtney?
Originally from Minneapolis, Twin Cities.
Really?
Minnesota. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How long did you live in Minneapolis?
Till like 15, 16, and then I ended up moving to Jacksonville in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any like siblings, any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I got one brother. My main family's in Jacksonville. He moved back to Minneapolis. So, yep, one brother. A whole slew of cousins in Chicago.
Okay. What was growing up in Minneapolis like?
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it's like super cold out there.
It's cold, but it's diverse. Like you get
really?
a little bit of everything. It's Asians, it's Ethiopians, it's Eritreans, it's Muslims. Our school was so crazy.
Really?
It's the most diverse place I've ever lived. And I've lived in LA, Florida. So
man.
It was dope.
Okay. And then at what age did you go to Jacksonville?
Like 16 or 17.
Okay.
Like junior year high school.
Junior, okay. Mm-hmm. And was it like a culture shock moving to Jacksonville?
Yes. Culture shock. I couldn't even understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, what? Excuse me? What language is this?
Okay.
So, yeah, but it's still dope.
Okay. And all your family is still in Jacksonville?
Main family, mom and dad. Everybody else is back in Minneapolis and back in Chicago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, does any of your siblings or any of them like in entertainment or anything like that?
No. They're super private.
Okay. What do you mean private? They're super private.
Religious, all that good stuff.
Really?
They're off the scene and they're not, doing what I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So let's go. How did you even get started, like with entertainment or even pursuing this? Or is this something that you always wanted to do, pursuing entertainment?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. My mom put me in modeling when I was like 4. So I started modeling when I was 4. Then I got super religious. Then I ended up, as an adult, moving to, when I was in Jacksonville, I was driving back forth to Miami, and I started working in Miami.
What was you doing in Miami?
And music videos.
Commercials, music videos?
Mm-hmm,
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any music videos that we would be like, oh, she was in that?
Yeah, my first music video was Chris Brown, the Kiss Kiss video.
Really?
Chris Brown and T-Pain.
Oh, okay. What was you doing in there? What?
Look, hey.
You was like in the background, or?
Well, it was like a background. Then I had a scene. They cut that out, that scene out at the end with Lamborghini. It was a cool set.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, I started working with ethnicity models, and she was pretty big that day. She had like Esther Baxter. She had what's her name now? She's on one of the biggest. What's her name? Melissa Ford. She had all those models. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that video, and then when she saw my professionalism on set, she started working with me So I would just be driving back and forth to Miami from Jacksonville, 5 hours. And
really?
Yeah.
Okay. And your first music video was the Chris Brown one?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I know.
Okay. And this was what year? What year are we talking?
This had to be like 2009, 10, something like that.
Really?
Like right before I ended up picking up and moving to Houston and then to LA. Yeah.
Okay. And so 2009,
9-ish,
2010. And then from there, what other videos did you do after that? Do you remember?
Rick Ross. Yeah. Rick Ross. I did Rick Ross. It was a few videos back in Miami, and then I ended up doing a reality show. So I moved around a little bit.
Okay, what reality show you do? I don't remember. I don't remember. What?
Okay, you gonna make me say it out loud?
Yes.
You gonna make me say it out loud?
Yes.
Okay, so I did For the Love of Ray J. I
Okay.
I was doing and I was doing those videos, and I honestly applied as a joke. I was just like, oh, let me just see what happens. Boom, and then next thing you know, audition after audition, and I ended up having to fly to LA and then shoot that. So For the Love of Ray J season 2.
You know what's so crazy is I auditioned for the Love of New York.
New York?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
What?
And I actually.
You and Midget Matt?
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I got the audition. They called me back and they wanted me. It was like, we have to do some kind of psychological testing. Yeah, you can move.
Oh,
that.
you gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a deep process.
Yes, they wanted me to do.
It's not easy.
It's not. I was like, they want to do what? He was like, yeah, we have to do a psychological background to make sure that you're not crazy or nothing like that. And I was like, and it was, I think I got notified on a Friday, and they wanted me to come in like a Monday or Tuesday to take the test. And then I went to the Laugh Factory on that Sunday, and I was asking all the comedians and I think Pookie, I was like, man, should I do this or what should I do? And Pookie was like, man, go in there, have fun. You know what I mean? Go in there and do it. And then for some reason, I didn't take his word, or I still was questioning. And I inboxed somebody. This is the dumbest thing I think I did.
Oh,
I inboxed somebody that was Steve Harvey's MySpace page or Facebook page. It was one of the two.
Was it MySpace or Twitter? Because that was like the Twitter days.
It might have been Twitter. It might have been Twitter. It might have been Twitter. And so I inboxed him and I was like, look, I got an opportunity to do a reality show, but I want to make my mark in comedy.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't do the TV, do comedy.
Worst advice ever, because that could have propelled everything.
Man. And so once whoever messaged me back from that page, I took that advice and I didn't go through it. So on Monday I told him I didn't want to do it.
Passed.
Yeah.
Passed on. I love New York, man. You could have been it or a Midget Mac.
Man, me and Midget Mac could have been Ace Deuce. We could have been man.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, so For the Love of Ray J, that was an experience. But then, yeah.
Okay. How long did you go a couple of rounds on there on For the Love of Ray J?
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed there for like a good month and a half.
Oh, okay. How was Ray J? Like off with the cameras off? He was high all the time?
High, and just like you see him, like he's a straight narcissist. It's like, cameras on me, what's going on? Unless you pleasing me, I'm not dealing with it. But he's always high.
Really?
They're rolling up, and there's cameras everywhere. Those cameras do not shut off.
Really?
They don't shut off. People are like, oh, it's reality TV, it's fake. Nah, nigga. I have PTSD to this day. I'm like,
really?
I'm telling you. But he was always high, and then just like looking for the next. And he's still professional, but at the same time, I know they were smashing in there. It was a cool experience.
What do you mean smashing? He was.
Oh, he like at least 5 girls, and I'm like, dude, y'all know the cameras are running. They can see y'all. They can hear y'all with the boom mics.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
Ray J was getting it in.
He was getting it in all the way.
God damn. Okay.
Good luck, princess. I'm like, I know what you dealing with. I seen it in real life.
God dang. Okay. And so once you go to LA, do you fly back to Jacksonville or do you stay in LA or what do you do?
Well, right now I'm relegated to Houston because of the.
No, I'm saying after.
After Ray J.
Yeah.
So I flew back to Houston for a little bit, and then I flew right back out because LA was just so much. It was opportunity.
Okay.
So I shot a movie in Houston right before I left, and then shot straight to LA.
Oh, okay. And that was like that 2012-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
Really?
New Year's Day, 2012.
God dang. Okay. And so when do you meet Billy? When does Billy come into play?
Right before I left for LA. So we were shooting a movie. We were shooting Because I Love You in Houston. And then after that, became friends, and we're like, all right, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm going to L.A. I don't know what.
And this is when you was in Houston?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
2011.
Okay.
So New Year's Day 2012, we shot out to L.A. and then.
So y'all met on the set of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And then y'all just like, all right, let's pack up.
Yeah.
We going to L.A.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. I mean,
like,
take me
at
there.
the time, I didn't have no kids. I'm like, look, I know I'm not going to be in Florida for the rest of my life. I'm not going to be back and forth to Miami. I'm not going to stay in Houston. LA is where it's at. So let's pick up. And if you want to come, you can come. You can hop on a ride. But that's where I want to go. That's where I want to, what I want to pursue.
So Billy was basically following you to LA.
Yeah, and then
did he have his own plan or?
Well, yeah, because the day I went to pick him up, he had 3 other niggas hop in the car with their suitcases. I'm like, well, who the?
Yeah. So, was it EK?
Oh,
Who else? Who else was with him?
It was EK, Paul, Jimmy, and then Billy. So I'm like, okay. So it's just supposed to be me and you. We supposed to be Bonnie and Clyde in this thing out. Who these niggas?
Yeah.
Like, where they coming too? Oh, okay. So it was like a whole, and then we ended up in a 1-bedroom with all these niggas. We're all together. 5. How many? 5.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit.
So we went from 2, like, hey, let's Bonnie and Clyde. Let's go to L.A. Let's pursue our dreams, to like sardines packing in the car, all just driving to L.A. from Houston.
Did y'all have any plans of when y'all got to LA? Like, okay, this is where we're going to stay. This is the rooms. This is the situation. Or did y'all just like, fuck it?
See, here's how Billy works. I like to plan.
Okay.
And Billy likes to talk over you like, oh, no, man. I got to figure that. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's getting close to the date. Like, do we have an apartment? Hey, man. What'd I tell you? It's pimp dog. Mm-hmm. So we're literally on our way to LA. This is a 20-hour drive. I have no idea if we have a place to stay or not, because Billy will not even revisit the conversation. It's like, what are we doing here? We pull up, and apparently he had a friend that was like a person who had an apartment on Hollywood Boulevard. So we pulled up, and I was like, okay. And we all lived in a 1-bedroom for months on end.
Really?
Yeah.
Golly. I remember. See, and I didn't know that y'all had just got there. Yeah. I remember going to that apartment and shooting sketches there in that 1-bedroom apartment. Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, once y'all get there, y'all get settled, what happens from there? Like, are y'all going on auditions? Take us through that time.
Yeah, so we got there. Of course, they were shooting sketches. His videos started popping or whatever. But I was like straight. I got there, found an acting agent, commercial agent. So I started working immediately, like 4 weeks in. So I started doing the commercials, like the Remy Martin, all that kind of stuff. And then the royalties, because the bills. And so I was like, all right. So I'm paying bills. And it was like, but when I got home, I'm stepping over all these people. Mm-hmm. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember this layout?
I do.
Okay.
Everybody on the floor.
There was no.
I remember there was no furniture. It was only a desk. It was only a desk for the computer. I remember. I remember this.
There was nothing. Okay. Mm-hmm. There was one airbed and a desk, and that was EK's workspace. And then everything else was just like, okay. But I started booking the work, and then I help pay the bills, and I'll be looking at Paul like, hey, all right, you need some soap, you need some deodorant, you good? All right, we got to get food. It was like, I was like a house mom. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I was the only girl.
Yeah.
All these dudes, I'm the only girl. Like, what are we doing? And I'm starting to get pissed at Billy it was at that point.
Okay.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just us like rocking it out and like grinding and like getting to where we want to go. And then it's like all this responsibility. I'm like, a house mom.
Yeah. So once Billy and EK and all of them got there, none of them was like, we gonna go to work or we gonna get a job until we figure this out, or they was just like, they were just
renegades.
Cool with
it was, but mostly it was Billy. You know, come on, man, why you gonna go to a regular job for? It's grind.
Sound like Billy. Sound like Billy.
So it literally, our house didn't turn it into a house ever. It turns into a spaceship with, you know, computers and laptops and them trying to do the editing and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it was progress being made, but at the same time, it was just like the environment, the close proximity, and we're all like packed in together. And I don't really know y'all like that still.
So you didn't know Paul and EK? Because I met when I came along. I think Jimmy he was there for a little while, but he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember
they were both dating Billy's sisters.
Right. EK and Jimmy. Wow. Okay. I do remember that.
Yeah. It was a whole situation that I got into, and I was like, what is going on here? It was so many like levels to it. Yeah.
See, and I'm gonna tell you, life is about perspective.
Yeah.
Because from my point of view, I thought you had already knew them and y'all came to LA and y'all had a plan and y'all was figuring all this shit out and y'all was just, all right, we just gonna grind until somebody make it big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. Well, with me and Billy.
Yes. And
all the extra people I had no clue about. Didn't know them from a can of paint.
Goodness gracious. So how was it? I mean, I know you say you felt like a house mom. At no point did you figure out, because you just really met Billy.
Yeah. On
At
set.
no point did you figure like, you know what, like I got to get out of this, or I'm done.
I did. I felt like that a lot of times.
Okay. And why did you?
Because I'm not a quitter. I mean, as simple as that.
No, that's a good quality. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then my being is like, okay, why is this not working? Let me try to like talk to you about it, or what's your backstory? Why are you acting like this? Why do you always need people around? Why you can't be by yourself? Why is it always like a quick talk and it's like a fast like what's going on? So I'm trying to like read him and fix stuff, because I'm like, I don't want to quit on you. And then you hear his story and you're like, oh dang, I can't just walk out. Like, you know, let me try to fix you. You're like become like almost like a fixer. And so there was plenty of times where I was just like, man, this is not it. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to quit on you. I don't want to like just give up on what I originally planned. So it's kind of simple but complicated.
No, I get that. I get that because Billy has such big ambitions, and so you want to see that. You know what I mean? As somebody who worked with Billy, it was like he does have such big ambitions, and you want to see that through.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is no plan laid out. There's nothing.
Everything's off the whim.
Yeah.
Like everything is just sporadic. It's like, let's do this. It's impulsive, and I was like, I can't do this. Like that's how you operate, and then it started to be draining.
So Billy said he met you while you were stripping. At what point were you stripping? What point were you stripping?
Okay, first of all, let's talk about Billy's relationship with the truth.
Okay.
He's a very loose relationship.
Talking to Mike. So we're talking to Mike.
He's a very loose relationship.
You can pull it up too if you need to.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, adjust it however you need to. Yeah.
He has a very loose relationship with the truth. He tends to either magnify the situation or just like, oh, no. Because I Love You was the movie that I did.
Oh, okay.
I played a stripper on there. That was 2011, right before we left.
The movie y'all did together in Houston.
Because I Love You.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I don't know where that comment. I had never even heard him say that online, that he met me when I was a stripper. But I'm like, dude, that's what I played. And you can see it. It's on Amazon. Like, you can see me on the pole.
Okay.
So is that it? Like, what are you doing? Billy is all over the place. Not to talk about him, but it's kind of like the information that he gives out or puts out is so convoluted and so mixed up, and so it's like, okay, yeah, that's true, but what is the truth? It's weird.
So for the record, you never stripped like at a strip club? Okay.
No.
Okay.
At the most, I was a go-go dancer in L.A.
Oh, okay. I do remember.
See?
Yes, I do remember that.
I did go-go dance.
Okay.
Okay, so, hey, and that was a great workout. It was money. It was quick money because, we would do for a living. You got to go on auditions. You got to have your day clear. All right, cool. I work 3 nights a week. Go-go dance.
Yeah.
I don't have to show anything.
Yeah,
Just put some booty shorts on and dance with these white.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I do remember that.
I'm sure you do. Come on.
Yeah, I remember we went to one of the clubs that you was working at.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Okay. And so, because I want to go in chronological order. And so I remember that y'all moved from the 1-bedroom to the 2-bedroom. And at this point,
We're still in Hollywood.
Yeah, we're still in Hollywood. Same apartment complex. Jimmy leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy leaves. And then you move into a 2-bedroom. And then, what was the manager's name?
Oh, rest his soul.
Yeah. Dang, I can't remember his name at the moment.
Reed.
And then Reed moves from Houston to LA. And y'all get a 2-bedroom. But now it's one more person in the 2-bedroom. And so, let me paint the picture for y'all. And you tell me if I'm skipping over something. So y'all moving to the 1-bedroom to the 2-bedroom. Now it's Reed, EK, Paul, and who else is there now?
Now it was Dre.
No, because Dre came.
Oh, Dre came a little bit later.
Yeah, Dre came a little bit later because I remember when I had got into it with my little situation, I came and stayed over there.
Are you talking about when you stole the dog?
Yes, the dog situation. Yes, when I stole the dog. So when I got into my situation, I came and slept on y'all couch. And then probably within the month after that, I remember Dre, we coming to get Dre. So now, listen, this is...
I'm telling you.
It's a lot.
You need we need a check chart.
Yes. So
I'm telling you.
Because I remember now is Reed, he has his own room.
Reed has his own room.
Then you and Billy are sharing a room. Then it's me, EK, and Dre in the living room sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
And then, so it's, how many is there? 6 people?
That's 6.
In a 2-bedroom. And then Paul comes back for a little while.
He came back for a little while. So that's 7.
God. And listen, to paint the picture for everybody out there, it is all of us sleeping on the couch and floor, as well as there is computer stations, editing bays, and there's all this stuff in this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Man.
Oh my gosh. It was a whole situation operation. It
Yes.
was nuts.
Yes.
But that's at the same time, that was like most of our peers, that Hollywood hustle. Like, we're coming out here, we're trying to work. Like, we all got a common goal. But 7 dudes and then me.
Yes. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna speak from my point of view. It was like Courtney's the little sister, and we have to look out for Courtney. But we working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were all working.
Yeah.
Courtney's the little sister. Everybody is taking care of making sure when Courtney come through the house, we got to make sure we out the way. We'll make sure that
I was making signs. And you critiqued me on one of my side. I was like, look. Yes, you did.
What I say?
I was like, look, y'all need to clean these pots and pans and these dishes. Do you guys want another roommate? Exclamation point. Roaches are not roommates. And then you came in, and instead of just being like, oh, ha, you're like, there's a couple typos in here. I'm like, look, all right, Donte. All right, check the message. Clean these pots and pans up. And then I put them, I took them all. Do you remember that?
Took the pots and pans?
And all the dishes and all the forks?
Yes.
Okay, so I took everything. I was sick and tired of it. 7 niggas.
Yes.
And y'all dirty. I took everything. They came home. They're like, why there's only 2 forks?
Yeah. Yes, I do remember that.
It was 2 forks, 2 dishes, 2 bowls, 2 cups. I put them things in a suitcase, hid them in the back of a closet. They came home like, yeah, dang,
where's everything at? God dang.
I was like, dang, I don't even know. Because I was so tired of it.
I know. I get it. I get it. I understand now.
Yes.
It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is probably, y'all were there at least a year, right? In LA when y'all moved to the 2-bedroom?
Yeah. For the 2-bedroom, at least a year. With when Reed moved in. And then we went from there to Koreatown, and then we went from there to South Central.
So, at what point do you and Billy actually get into a relationship? Because
that was then, and you know what? That's a crazy question, because we was in a relationship from the time we drove from Houston to LA.
Really?
New Year's Day. But nobody knew that because Billy, and he asked me at the gas station, he said, I want you to be my girlfriend. I was like, okay. All right, well, yeah. So from the time we were there, so the fact that you're asking me that question just let me know everything I needed to know. You even know he was in a relationship.
No, so, because here's the thing. I thought that y'all had, when I met y'all, I thought y'all was already in a relationship. But from hearing the story now, I'm like, okay, so at what point did they finalize, like, hey, we gonna be together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was New Year's Day 2012.
And that's when y'all decided at the gas station.
Yeah. And then we got married October 2013.
Y'all were married in 2013?
Yeah, we just didn't tell anybody.
What? Are you serious, Courtney?
Yes.
God damn. Where were we at?
Around? I don't know.
Y'all just went to the courthouse?
Yeah, we literally on the way back to go to Houston because it was October. I think he had a show or something like that. We was going to stay there through Thanksgiving or something weird. But yeah, we went to the courthouse in Koreatown.
What?
Yeah.
So y'all
2013.
Y'all been married since 2013.
Yeah.
Damn, I never knew that.
What? This is nuts.
I never knew that.
Of course. Well, you know, who are we dealing with? No one knew anything. I'm thinking everybody knows, and I walk into a room and they're like, oh, who the fuck is this? I'm like, I'm not knowing why the reactions are that way, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who was giving you those reactions? Like,
it was just random. You know, when I walk into a room, it's like, hey, or if you're with someone, it's respect. When you walk into a room and you don't even feel anything, it's just, or they look at you like, why the fuck's she here? It's a different vibe, and I'm like, okay, there's something off. And what you're saying now makes sense because no one knew.
Yeah. God dang.
Yeah, 2013.
Okay. Damn, I'd have no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what point does it turn bad between you and Billy? Because I know I witnessed some domestic violence shit, and me and Dre had to step in.
Yeah.
I remember that. So, was that the first time that me and Dre witnessed it, or was it?
That's probably like the second or third.
Really?
And that time, oh man, I remember that time. And then you had to take me all the way to the garage, because you had to wake me up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's deep.
When was that? You said that was the second or third time?
Yeah. Because there was times where, and I don't want to talk about, anything too personal, but when people get you to a certain point and you feel like there's no, his mode of operation would be, I ask him about a question, and when I get too angry, I like to leave the situation. Just let me out, just let me take a breathe, let me just walk it off. But his mode of response was to block the door and keep me in there. And then it just keeps escalating. And so when that happened, all I remember is I took a bar, because that was Reed's room. That was Reed's old room.
Mm-hmm.
And I held it up to say, hey, don't touch me anymore. Try to, intimidate. But then all of a sudden I woke up and I saw you, and Billy was trying to pour water down my mouth to wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And then you grabbed me, and then you took me down to the garage to let me know I was safe. That's a crazy moment.
Yeah, it was me and Dre, because we didn't know. It was in the middle of the night, so we didn't know. We got woke up to a bunch of commotion, and all I remember is you were like coming to, and me and Dre telling Billy chill. If she wants to leave, let her go, man. Let her go. And he was like, no, she don't need to go. And I'm like, dude, let her go. Let her go, man. Once cooler heads prevail, then y'all could come back and talk or whatever.
But right now, it was too intense.
Yeah.
And it was mostly, and it's just simple basic. It was just simple basic stuff. You got your phone tucked. You got this okay, if we're in a relationship, you asked me to be in this relationship. What are we doing? Where's the trust? What are we doing? And I would never just charge him up what the. It was mostly just hey, okay, you're literally covering your phone with your foot, or putting it in a pillow, or you sneaking off, or you're leaving the house, or you're doing this, and it's it was weird. And I was like, I have a right to question that if we're in a relationship. And then it would be the responses, and then it's it just gets more intense and more intense and more intense, to the point where it's okay, let me just leave. Let me just take a break. Let me take a beat. Let me go out and regain my mind. But he wouldn't want me to leave the room. It was nah. And I'm like, well, why? And then that becomes a tussle. And then I got to prove myself hey, no, you can't just throw me around. So now I got to pretend I can go forward.
Was both of y'all, because I don't want here's what I want to explain. Because I don't want to just put it where it's all the onus is on Billy.
Of course.
Were you being physically violent as well?
At certain points, absolutely.
Okay.
It goes back and forth. And then sometimes what I realize is you can be the most peaceful person, but if someone pushes you to that point, eventually it's you snap. And it's hey, dude, just let me out the room. And that's usually what it would be. Just let me out so I can go be peaceful and come back and we can talk about this like adults.
Yeah. So more your frustration or anger was coming from him trying to hold you or trying to stop you from doing something, and then you would lash out? Is that?
It was that, and also I don't like when people try to play me
Mm.
and play with my intelligence. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm like. I know what I saw. I know your actions. I know the situation. Don't try to play me. When you try to play me, that's gonna piss me off. That's when I need to go walk.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to play me for stupid. Don't play my intelligence. And so, but the only time it would get violent like that would be when you're blocking me in and you don't let me just go get my piece, and then we could talk about it. Because you don't want to talk about it. You want to keep covering up and go into 5 different subjects and to like make my mind be like, okay, well, what were you even talking about in the beginning? Oh, confusion. It's confusion. It's all that. And that's what I had to say. Okay, this is not real. This is toxic.
Mm.
You want to cause confusion for what? You don't want to be honest for what? And you want to create confusion and chaos. It's always confusion and chaos. And I can't operate like that.
Yeah. And is that one of the reasons, because you're saying that, you're not a quitter, is that kind of one of the reasons why you stay with him so long? Is because you like, I don't want to give up, or I'm not a quitter, I want to see this all the way through?
It was that. I'm not a quitter. I wanted to see it all the way through. I wanted to see him do better. But also at the same time, I also had a need to prove to people, like, especially my family, I didn't make a bad decision.
Mm.
So it was more so like, okay, I know this is going on, but I'm telling you, he really is a good guy. It's trying to prove yourself. It's all these different levels. And when you stay in that situation, and it's like you're trying to prove to everybody else, like, no, I got this. Or also, I can help you realize what's wrong with you, and then we can be good. It's like this whole, it's so many different levels to it.
Mm-hmm. Man. Okay. And then from there, how long do you guys stay in LA?
What was that, like 9-10 years?
So from 2012 to
2020? Literally, like 20, almost, yeah, because we got out of, 2018 was when I moved from LA.
Okay. And you where did you move to?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Temporarily.
Okay. So you moved from LA and you went to Jacksonville in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. And Billy was still in LA?
Yeah.
Okay. Why the big gas?
I know where this is going. Okay.
No, what?
Or maybe you don't. It was a lot going on in 2018. And so when 2018, it got to the point where and I don't want to say anything or insinuate anything, but there were certain situations that were not conducive to our relationship, and he would get very angry, and I ended up in the ICU. So I moved back to Jacksonville, and then when I got back to Jacksonville, I started trying to rebuild my life, and then that's why we ended up kind of in Florida, and then doing that type of thing.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't know why I thought y'all was in South Carolina. Did y'all open up a club, like a comedy?
Oh, that was in Jacksonville.
That was in Jacksonville?
Yeah, he was trying to like get back in my good graces. Yeah. So that was like 2018 or 2019. Yeah.
Okay. And y'all opened up a club. I was
Billy
like,
and Coco's. Yeah.
I was like,
The
how
Comedy
they?
Club.
Yeah, like what they doing way over there? I thought y'all was still in LA.
Yeah. No, he was back and forth in LA.
Okay.
And then, after I was in the ICU, I just stayed with my family in Florida.
Okay. Can you talk about what happened? How did you end up in the ICU?
Legally? Legally, I can tell you a little bit, but his habits turned into rage. And those rage moments put me in the ICU. So I woke up. I had, broken arm, fractured thumb, fractured jaw, couldn't speak. So I ended up back in Jacksonville. Then when he came to get his family back, the idea was to establish something in Jacksonville because he knew that was important to me. Because I was like, I've been in LA with your friends. I've been in Houston with your family. I want to be with my family now. My mom and dad in Jacksonville. And I'm not hearing what you're talking about. And I was still recovering from broken arm, And so I was like, all right, if you're really serious about, getting your family back, let's, if you want to come back here, that's fine. But I'm not going back to LA and I'm not going back to Houston. And so he kind of made a plan. I put him in touch with some people, and then we made Billy and Coco's and started the business. And then from there, he started, doing, got in contact with my people in Jacksonville, got his radio job, and then, moved around a little bit. But that was why we ended up in Jacksonville. And then I had to recover.
You mean physically recover? Like?
Oh, yeah. Physically, mentally, everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you know, I know Billy has talked about this already. Did you know about his drug habit? Did you know anything about that? See, I found out in 2000, it has to be in either 12 or 13 that I found out. But he told me about it, but it wasn't like he was doing it in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How bad did it get? Like do you know?
Well, yeah. I'll put it like this. So I consider myself to be a married single mother.
Okay.
So he's in his office, door closed, 24/7, and that was it. That's all he did, all day, every day. And we never lived alone. And the people that he would bring in and out were contributors, I'll say that for legal reasons, to the habit. So they're providing. And he's in his office all day. I wouldn't see him. It could be 24/7 and he either gone or just sitting in the office. And it got to the point where the paranoia, it got really bad. It was like a paranoia, like a coke rage, like a paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
To where everybody's out against me and this is what I got to do and I got to do it all day, 24/7, locked in a room, locked in his office. I'm saying a lot right now because I'm giving you a lot of information, but that was my reality.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that is... See, I never knew how bad it was because... I would always hear, like, comedians when we be, like, in groups.
Yeah, it's like a fun situation, but this was a daily, all day, every day.
Goodness. See, and, like, more than anything, I hope Billy gets, like, help with that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because he reached out to me probably a couple of months ago. One of our friends, comedians, Fuquan Johnson, he passed from doing drugs. Mm-hmm. And so he reached out to me like, hey, man, I want to just say apologize for everything I've done. And we just started reminiscing on, like, food and how he got introduced to food and all that.
Yeah.
And so I don't wish anything bad happened to him. You know what I mean? And to you either. Because I'm going to tell you, Courtney, it was a video that Billy put out where it had you looking crazy.
Oh, yeah, the garage video.
Yes.
Yeah, I was locked in the garage.
What happened? What, he locked you in the garage?
Yeah. So we had a 1 day visitation because I'm dealing with lawyers. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, legal stuff. He locked me in. Okay, woke me up out of my sleep. Was mad that I didn't want to go in. Okay, I'm telling you some deep shit now.
Okay.
He was mad that I didn't want to go to bed with him because at this point I had already left the house. I'm already gone. We're not seeing. Like, we're done totally. But the lawyers set up a visitation, and when I went to go pick them up, he kept them. So his requirement was like, no, if you want to see the kids, and I couldn't do anything legally or police-wise. Police couldn't do anything unless you had papers. Got to wait on the legal team to have papers to go, do anything, even though so much stuff. So when I said, okay, the judge said verbally, you have 6 hours with your kids. He kept them past the 6 hours, kept them. And I said, this is not what the agreement is. They're used to being with me. I need to see my kids. The only way you're going to see your kids is you come into my house. And I said, okay. When I go there, I sleep on the couch. He got a little bit angry, like, why you don't want to sleep in the bed with me? Because at this time he was still like trying to press the situation, like, so you really done? Like, so he woke me up out of my sleep, like, so you're not gonna get in bed? I said, no. No. And I see where you're going with this. Let me just go. I try to go out through the garage. He already has everything unplugged. The manual garage door is not working. I don't even know where it is because I always just press the button. And so when I go to the garage, I'm woken up out of my sleep. Billy's trying me. Oh, so you don't want to talk to me? Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm finna leave. Go into the garage, can't press the button. For 10 minutes straight, I'm getting called, yeah, bitch, yeah, you, and berated for at least 10 minutes straight, and that's a long time in a freaking hot garage.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I turn around, because he took my keys, took all the stuff that I had brought there. By the time I turn around, I was just like, okay, I'm like jingling stuff, I'm doing this, and I'm like, okay, let me out. I turn around, he's got the camera on me, and I was like, and against my better judgment, I was just like, fuck the camera. Give me my shit. Like, let me out of here. Because the whole time he's like, yeah, bitch, you so stupid. You can't even open a garage. Yeah, look at you. The whole time just berating me. I'm like, it was just so messy. And I was like, that's why I'm trying to leave and trying to keep the peace. And so when you see that turn around, and I'm turning around back, and I look crazy, and then he tried to make it seem, oh, she's on drugs. No, you locked me in the fucking hot garage for 10 minutes and berated me and called me a bitch and a hoe and this and that for 10 minutes straight. And all I'm trying to do is just leave and just keep the peace. You do that? And then he posted it. All I saw was the camera, and I said, oh, I'm disappointed in myself for even reacting. But at the same time, it was like, okay, well, you did that. Then he makes the caption, oh, she's on drugs, and she's this, and she's that. I'm like, sir.
Were you
like,
doing,
those were the blows.
Were you doing drugs at the time?
No.
Okay.
By this time, we done had drug tests. We done had 5 meetings with the lawyers. We've been online with the judge and everything. I had to get my whole hair cut out for the judge to take drug samples because that's how deep it was.
Wow. God dang.
Yeah. It was deep.
I always wondered, like, how did all y'all drama get online for everybody?
From Billy.
From everybody to see. What was the first video that he posted where it was like where everybody was now in y'all business?
I didn't post anything. It was Billy, and then at first I think it started with Delay.
Okay.
His beef with Delay, and that went.
Do you know what that was about? Because I mean, see, that is I want to get your perspective, because that is a whole spider web of.
It's a spider web of just a bunch of like. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, mm-hmm. right? I remember seeing a post from D-Lay that's saying, he's no longer gonna be a part of
Did you miss me?
Yeah, he's not longer gonna be a part, but he's gonna start his own thing, blah blah blah. And it was like, okay, dang, what happened? Mm-hmm. And that was it. That's all the news mm-hmm. we got about the show. And then I seen people started commenting like, why, what happened? We love the show, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing I seen is him online with another friend of ours, Derek. And then this one, he said that y'all had been swinging and that D-Lay had performed some oral sex on him. And so that's when that's when everybody got involved. Was like, what the fuck happened? What's going on? So explain, can you, from your perspective, mm-hmm. what actually, do you know anything that took place as far as the show, or was that intertwined with y'all swinging?
So that has nothing to do with D-Lay being disrespectful towards me or anything like that.
What did he do? What did D-Lay do towards you?
Well, what Billy put out was like a message that said like, hey, you want to fly out or something like that.
Okay.
One of those messages, he put that up, and that's where he says the beef came from. But really, it was more so Billy's relationship with the truth, like I said, is so loose because it was no beef before Billy got into his paranoia. They were brothers. Him, Kevin. Like this, everything was going good. So I don't know really where that came from, unless it was something behind the scenes, like work-wise, because I would hear Billy say, I don't know how D-Lay's getting all these followers. I don't know how D-Lay's doing this. I don't know how D-Lay's making this money off Facebook. I don't know. And maybe I'm talking too much, but I feel like that was where the bud came from. Because there was really nothing going on that they should be so angry with each other about. Now, what was the second thing that you had? So
it seemed like to I guess to the mass public that the beef came from, and I forgot about that you and D-Lay, y'all were swinging or whatever y'all were doing, and then D-Lay tried to go behind Billy's back and fly you somewhere or something like that.
No. That never happened. D-Lay, okay, so D-Lay was like, okay, if me and Billy got into it, it was almost like you. It was like, hey man, like, can you talk to your brother? Like, it's about to go down and I'm trying to calm myself down. That was the relationship that we had. Never talked outside of that. Me and Kevin, cool. Never, D-Lay's never tried me. He's never tried to come at me sideways. And neither has Kevin. And so it's weird. It was weird, and I knew that was induced by something else because he's never tried me like that. Even in wild, crazy Hollywood moments. Mm-hmm. He's never done anything to be disrespectful or come at me sideways or say anything like, oh, yeah. Nothing like that. So it was weird for me to see that. And then the gay stuff.
Where did that come from? Did you ever witness anything like that?
I have not. I can't confirm or deny, but I do have.
Okay, go ahead.
But I do have a recording of Billy, and I told you I'll send that to you. Of Billy saying he was making a lot of that stuff up. Billy, like I said, he has a very loose relationship with the truth, and he's on a recording saying a lot of the stuff he said was not true, just to hurt Delay for just simply not wanting to be a part of whatever he had going on. And it was weird.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
So he just said he was just making all this up to get back at Delay. You know what? I figured that. I figured that because it didn't see. It seemed like Billy was saying anything just to try to get a confrontation between him and Delay. And I kind of figured that from the jump.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that from the jump. And I'm like, I know Delay is a very charismatic dude. He's a fun-loving dude. You know what I mean? And I just didn't see that and that happening like that. And Delay's mad at me right now, though. He is.
Why?
Because when he was on the phone, or when he was on FaceTime with Derek, or Billy, when Billy and Derek was on FaceTime, I did a video and I made a joke, and I was like, you know how Delay does those videos where he's like, this nigga here or something like that. Yeah. So I did a video mocking that, and so I guess Delay was mad at me for that because he was like, I guess from everybody else that I'm here, I haven't talked to Delay. I reached out to him a couple of times, but it was like I guess he knew that I knew it wasn't true, but I was egging it on and making jokes about it. So he's mad at me, but I'm like, look, man, I was joking around. I don't know what the fuck y'all was going on or what the fuck was happening, but you know what I mean? Whatever. And so he's still mad at me about that. But I kind of figured that from the jump that it had something to do, and this is just from my own experience working with Billy, that it has something to do with the finances. And I was like, yeah, this don't sound like they fell out because of whatever situation y'all had. It felt like something different in the finances, because I'm telling you, I don't know if you know this, Courtney, but me and Dre, and I want to say maybe EK, we were doing those videos for that one network in Hollywood. I don't know.
Bite size?
No, it wasn't bite size. It was
Mevio?
Mevio. We were doing those videos for Mevio, and I think it was like Christmas break. Y'all had went back to Houston, and Billy was like, yo, man, I want you to go by Mevio and pick up a check for me for those videos. I'm like, okay, bet. The check was for $50,000. They gave $25,000 first, right? And he was like, man, mail it to me or send it to me, because y'all was gone for like a month or something. And I was like, all right, cool. He had to cash it because it was in his name, and he was gonna give us our cut. He gave me $300, and he gave EK and I think he gave EK and Dre $150 a piece. And so at that moment, I was like, oh nah, I can't. Like, yeah, this is fucked up. Like, in no way.
What?
Yes.
How much was the original check?
It was that one check was $25 that I got, but they were gonna break it up in two checks, $50,000.
So if it's $50,000 to spend through everything, he gave what, $300?
He gave me $300.
Yeah, come on now.
And I don't know. See? I want to say he gave Dre and EK $150.
And that's why Dre used to be having attitudes.
Yes. And it was like, nigga, we trying to get off your fucking couch. You know what I'm saying? But the way this money is being broken up, we're going to be here forever.
It's funny, but it's not funny.
Man.
Like, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know the budget was that big.
Man.
And I was using my royalties to pay for bills for all y'all. Like, I'm telling you.
Listen.
I was getting like $4,000 every other week. And I'm like, all right, Paul, what you need? Deodorant? What we doing?
Listen. And so at that moment is when I was like, yeah, I gotta be out.
Yeah.
Because this is not paying off. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all this work to get some money.
Yeah.
But the money is not being broken up fairly. And so I don't know how long Dre stayed after that, but I was like, yeah, I got to be out.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because Dre did get mad because we went to like, I think we went to, I don't know, we went to Fogo or some place and we brought back leftovers and Dre was mad for like years. Like, man, y'all went out to eat and didn't bring me nothing. And I was like, well, dang, we just went on a date. But now that makes sense. Because he knew where that money was coming.
Yes. And I think because I think Dre was from here, from Dallas, and y'all went back. Everybody left.
Yeah.
For the holidays.
Everybody left.
Everybody left. I was there by myself.
Yeah.
And so I was the only one that could pick up the check. And once I picked it up, and then once we all came back from the holidays, I ended up telling Dre, and from that point on, Dre was like, "Yeah, man, I gotta move on." And Dre was a dope videographer, editor. Like, he was super dope. You know what I mean?
He's still dope.
Yes. And so I was like, Billy, you had all this at the palm of your hands, and we would have did anything to.
Right. All of us would have.
We would have did anything to make sure that you was seen in a good light.
Yeah.
But when the money come back, let's break this up evenly. Let's break this up evenly so we can all, benefit from it.
Right.
He wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you live and you learn, and then you just move on, and then hopefully it's less pressure on me. 'Cause he went publicly at y'all.
Because he can't. He can't. Like, he really can't.
Every day I was waking up like, oh, man, what next? I was like, my God. Okay, I'm a scammer. I'm this. I'm that. It was all sorts of stuff. And I was like, this is crazy. And it's crazy because I never knew all these stories, even while we was living in the same proximity. I never knew any of these stories. I never knew what was going on behind the scenes. I was just like, all right, that's his friends, and what are you doing?
And that's why well, not this is even before, but I was like, I can't trust Billy. And one of the reasons why I was like, I can't trust him is because you remember we were working for Bite Size? I started doing my own show. It was called Rolling with Donte.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I started doing my own show because I was like, I need something of my own to do.
Yeah.
And one day out of the blue.
I remember that.
One day out of the blue, Billy came in and he was like, hey, Donte, I bought you your web address. I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, I bought you your web address so now you can start your website and blah, blah, blah. And right in that moment, I was like, why would you need to buy my web address?
Control.
And that's exactly, I was like,
Siri play control.
Yes. And so he put it under my first and last name. Like my first and last name.com. I don't use my last name for anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, why the fuck would he do this? Like, oh, he trying to, like, if I want to make my website, he want to be the owner of the website. And I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, nah, I don't need it. Appreciate it though.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I was like, yeah, I can't trust him because
it's just, it's just navigating through it. He told me the other day, he said, yeah, because I'm shooting a movie in Houston. He don't know that. So whenever this comes out. But he was like, yeah, I'm shooting a movie and, the girl that's going to play you. I was like, play me? Huh? And he was like, I was like, you can't use my likeness or my name. He was like, I own Coco Sorrells. I was like, you own what? I own that. Sorrells, I own that. I'm like, so you really feel like you're really doing this? You really like trying to like take control? Like, it's crazy. And I said, well, great thing. My real last name is not Sorrells anymore. But actually, can you help and sign his papers so that it can be legit? Like, so much attached.
Man, it is. How are the kids doing through all this?
They're confused a little bit, but they're doing good. They're doing good, surprisingly. Because I've never been through this. My mom and dad, they've been married for years and years and years. I've never been through divorce. I've never been through breakups or seeing like stuff like that. And so for them to see, mommy and daddy. And then again, like I said, I was a married single mom. So they're really not used to us all being in the house together. So it's kind of like a smooth, almost transition. But I just, I hope they don't get fucked up in the head, like, due to, like, the public stuff that he's been putting out. Because that's going to affect them. And that's the only thing I don't like. Come at me. But, our girls are going to be able to see this. Once they get 5-10 years, however, this shit does not get, erased off the internet. They're going to be able to see all of this that you're putting out. And so that was my only thing. Like, say what you want to say about me, but privately. Don't do that so when our daughters get older, and my stepdaughters, they can already read. So they're looking at it. They can see it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but they're doing good so far.
Well, good.
They're doing pretty good.
Good. Would you ever get married again?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound convincing at all.
No, I would. I'm the type of person where I don't bleed like my old bull crap to another relationship. Like, I still have hope. Like, there's somebody out that God has placed.
Okay.
As a mate.
Okay. All right. And so I'm glad you're getting back into the acting and can you talk about the movie that you're doing now?
Oh yeah. So I'm on a movie. It's Joseph Elmore. So it's going through Maverick. It's a dope movie. It's a
Maverick. That's LeBron James' company, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But Maverick is the production company. So they're budgeting it out. But Joe Elmore, he's worked with me before, and he really believes in me. So I got cast. They had to do casting auditions, all that kind of stuff, and they cast me as the main role. So I'm excited about it. It's a dope movie.
Okay. When can we see it? When will it be out?
I'm not sure. We're still shooting.
Oh, okay.
So I'm literally in, like,
okay.
I'm still in character.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta fly back to Houston tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
And get back into character. But no, it's been dope. Like, since I left, it was like a trial period. Like, oh my God, I'm out in the world. But everything's been good. Like, progress, and then we've been shooting for 2 weeks. We'll be shooting for another 4 weeks. So, in Houston. So it's a dope project.
Okay.
Yeah. And the project that me and the director did last is already on Amazon Prime. So.
What's the name of it?
Because I Love You.
Okay.
Yeah. So they can find that, and then we'll be working on this new project, and we have some really dope stuff going on. And then Shannara. Okay, so
what's that?
It's a Houston movie. So Shannara Butler, she's signed on. Shannara Butler, Pimp C's wife.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's a super Houston movie base.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be dope. Like, she's signed on. A lot of people signed on. It's gonna be really dope, and I'm really excited about it because I'm like, dude, I've been raising kids and dealing with, but I'm back in the game and it's fun.
Yes,
and I'm really excited about it. So
well, good, good. We happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you in a better space mentally, physically. Like seriously, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I really wish the best for you and Billy. You know what I mean? Even though Billy has some stuff you need to work out, and I'm sure
I always wish the best.
I'm sure you probably have some stuff you need to work out. Like I really would love to see y'all just in a better space. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be with each other, but you know, just in a better space.
Absolutely.
On your own individually. So yeah. And I invited Billy to come on and speak his piece, and who knows? You know what I mean?
Who knows what'll happen,
you know what I mean? So thank you though. Thank you though. Where how can people get a hold of you if they want to book you for anything?
Oh yeah, you know, I started the I am Courtney Camero. I just had to switch my name.
Okay.
So I am Courtney Camero on IG, and then I'll have my website. The same, everything's the same. Courtney Camero.
Okay.
And so yeah, you can do that, and then I'll give you all the stuff that you can link in on the graphics.
Yeah, all our information will be in the description below. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you.
I'm glad you're. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because this space is dope.
Thank you.
Because we know where we came from.
Yes.
Yes. So congratulations. This is dope.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yo, man, thank y'all for tapping in to the Tap In podcast. Courtney, thank you again. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share this video. This has been the Tap In podcast. Holla.